The Reflection Room, Part 1, The House That Watches. When Evan Carter inherited his grandfather's crumbling Victorian house in rural Maine, he had two thoughts: sell it, and get back to the city. But first, he had to spend one night there to sign the paperwork with the local lawyer. The house was 3 stories of rotting wood, cold windows, and heavy silence. No power, no cell reception. The nearest neighbor was 2 miles away. The town had warned him, some places don't let go easy. Still, Evan wasn't superstitious. He arrived at dusk, with a flashlight, a bottle of whiskey, and a thick sleeping bag. He explored, lighting each room with a flickering beam. The wallpaper peeled like old scabs. Family portraits stared with faded, sunken eyes. One door on the 2nd floor had a brass plaque, "Reflection Room." It was locked, the only locked room in the house. Part 2, The Knock. At 2:13 a.m., Evan woke to a sound. Knock, knock. It was gentle but insistent. He sat up in his sleeping bag, heart pounding. The knock came again, louder. Knock, knock. He grabbed his flashlight. The noise was coming from upstairs. He remembered the locked door. He climbed slowly, the old stairs groaning under his weight. As he reached the landing, the house fell silent again. But then he saw it. The reflection room door was open. Inside, the air was colder. Dust danced in the beam of his light. The room was empty, except for a massive mirror covering the far wall. It was pristine, unlike the rest of the house. A silver frame, elegant and cruel. Evan stepped inside. His reflection stared back at him. But something was wrong. His reflection was slower. He raised his hand. It delayed. A tiny, almost imperceptible lag. He leaned closer. The reflection did not. It stared straight ahead. Then it smiled. Part 3, The Whisper. Evan stumbled back, slamming the door shut. He didn't sleep again. At dawn, he returned to the reflection room, but the door was locked tight once more. The mirror was gone, only a blank wall. He assumed it had been a dream. Sleep deprivation, whiskey, old house paranoia. That day, he met with a lawyer, signed the deed, and officially owned the place. He almost laughed when the lawyer said, "You're braver than most. No one goes near that house after what happened." "What happened?" Evan asked. "Oh, just stories," the lawyer said. "Your grandfather was obsessed with that room. Said it showed things. Called it a thin place. That's why they boarded it up after well, never mind." Evan didn't press. But that night, he stayed again. Just to prove to himself there was nothing to fear. Part 4, The Thing in the Mirror. At midnight, he heard whispering. He followed the sound upstairs. The reflection room door was open. Inside, the mirror was back. Only this time, there were 2 reflections in it. Evan, and something else. It stood just behind him. Tall, pale, with long, finger-like arms that dangled too far. No face, just a shifting blur where the head should be. He turned. Nothing was behind him. He looked back at the mirror. The thing had stepped closer. Now, it was right at his shoulder. Evan ran. The whispers followed. Part 5, The Swap. The next morning, Evan smashed the door with a hammer and nailed it shut from the hallway. He packed his things and decided he would never return. But as he passed the hallway mirror by the stairs, something stopped him. His reflection blinked when he didn't. His reflection smiled, a crooked, strange grin. And then it reached forward and touched the inside of the glass. From the mirror's surface, a hand pressed out and grabbed him. He screamed, but no one was there to hear. The hand yanked him into the cold glass, where silence swallowed him whole. Now the reflection stands alone. It wears Evan's face. And it smiles. Epilogue. The new owner. 2 months later, a couple bought the house at auction. They were thrilled by the low price and the charming historical character. The reflection room was still locked when they arrived. But late that first night, the husband heard a knock. Knock, knock. When he opened the door, he found a mirror inside. Pristine, silent, and in it, a man stood watching. He looked just like Evan. And he was smiling.